Roschon Johnson of the Bears. It's still that concussion. You're going to yell at me, Tom, because I'm going to say, concussion, why is he still out? And you're going to say, actually, the research says 14 days.
16.
Damn it. Okay, go ahead. Take the floor, damn
it. I mean, with concussions, there's really not a whole lot for us to break down. It's as simple as, do they play? Great. Do they not play? You don't start them. With Roschon, he didn't practice today, Wednesday, but we'll keep monitoring the reports throughout the week. He needs to clear the concussion protocol, but if he plays, he's actually not a terrible start this week, although the quarterback situation is, let's say, interesting.
Very interesting. Now, if he is able to go, I am in on him. I mean, Foreman was admirable. He was okay in the absence of Herbert and of Johnson. 65 yards on 15 carries. Darrington Evans was actually used. He was the backup for who? Henry for a bunch of years for Titans, right? A little scat back. He was used for 10 touches. But if Roschon is able to go, I am in on him. Play the Raiders, ranked 21st against the run. I talked up Roschon in the preseason a little bit. I'm a believer of him. He's I actually just learned this today too, Tom. Roschon Johnson, Texas high school, I forget where he went, was an all-state quarterback. Freshman year in college, switched to running back. So that was an interesting find for me.
How about that?
I feel like there's a lot of guys like that.
There is.
If he didn't back up Bijan, we would have heard, I think, a heck of a lot more about him. He's tough. He's a hard runner. Only one career fumble in college. He's not super fast, but he's a solid running back. My comp for him is Brian Robinson, just the guy who's going to get the job done. I do like Roschon, so if he plays, I am definitely in on him this week. Tom, another ugly backfield situation. It's the Rams. Let's talk about Kyren Williams, a sprained ankle. What do you got?
There's kind of mixed reports on what the sprain is. I know a lot of people on Twitter who really break down the injuries like I do are suggesting that it looks like a high ankle sprain. And the video is a little unclear. There's a lot of bodies in the way, but that's definitely possible, especially after the reports that he's going to be out for a few weeks. That's more consistent with the high ankle sprain than a lateral ankle sprain. Either way, both types of sprains are going to make it hard for a running back to cut, and they can contribute to further sprains or like more sprains in the future. He's not going to play this week. He's going to miss a couple weeks, but whatever the injury is, it's not impossible for him to come back and play really, really well. So keep him on your teams. And I mean, he's been awesome this year. He could very well still help you with a run through the fantasy playoffs. Just you're not going to have him for a few weeks.
Yeah, he has been really good. And for all of you that are going to make the playoffs, good luck out there. Have fun with this. I wish I was in more leagues, but enough of me complaining. So in terms of Kyren Williams, I said last week, and Tom, I said it like a couple times this year. I was like, make sure you have the backup on this team because it's always a sketchy situation. Maybe Kyren Williams gets hurt. I had Ronnie Rivers rostered everywhere, and they just put him on the IR today. He hurt his knee. So now what, right? I mean, this is a situation, Tom, that like, I don't know how to predict it correctly, but I think if Kyren Williams, because I did see that he like, I don't know. I heard what you just said, but fringe might be put on the IR. I don't know. We don't know with Kyren Williams. Maybe he's really hurt. Maybe he's not. But I think if you nail the guy who is going to be in there for the next 3 or 4 weeks, you got a good chance here because this backfield, like whoever it is back there, it's a really valuable position. You could tell me at the end, Tom, who you think you would take of these guys, but I'm looking at the names here. So I'll just take off the list immediately. Myles Gaskin, no thank you. See you later. They have Zach Evans is the guy that fantasy Twitter is going a little bit crazy about here. They're saying that, that he's, well, first off, he's 22 years old out of Ole Miss last week, or actually in his career, Zach Evans, 4 carries for 10 yards. Has some size, has some speed. A lot of people are saying he's the best running back in that whole running back room, even when they're all healthy. So he's an interesting one. They got Royce Freeman they just signed. He's projected points on ESPN. My notes on Royce Freeman is as follows. 3 bullet points. 3.7 career yards per carry. 27 years old. Third bullet point just says stinks. So no thank you for Royce Freeman. Here's one that I'm going to sound like an idiot to some of you. What if Darrell Henderson, okay, cool, they just signed him to the practice squad. I would listen in a season where the craziest things ever is happening. You have like Adam Thielen as like a top 5 rider. Like, what the hell's even going on this year? Darrell Henderson, it wouldn't shock me if he leads the Rams in running back snaps either this week or next week. He played here last year. He's a good run blocker. Like, I would be targeting Zach Evans and, I don't know, stash Darrell Henderson. Like, he's sitting on my roster on ESPN, Tom. It doesn't even say he's on a team because I guess he's on the practice squad. It just says free agent, and he's projected 0. And I might have to put him in my starting lineup, but we will see. Next week, we'll have some clarity there. All right.